You ready? What up? What up? What up? We on right now? Yeah. Okay. This is RadioOnFire.com, giving you more talk, more news, more music. We have a special guest tonight. We have Mr. Marcus Dent in the house, third Baltimore City, 3rd District City Council.
Somebody, nobody's gonna sit right there.
Nobody.
You want? Are you chilling? Okay.
So we all broke up.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's up.
It's all good. So introduce yourself, Mr. Dent.
How y'all doing? Radio on Fire.
You on.
How y'all doing? Radio on Fire. Marcus Dent, 3rd District City Council candidate. I'm just glad to be here this afternoon. We got a lot going on in Baltimore City, especially in East Baltimore, Northeast Baltimore. It's a pleasure to be on with you guys this evening.
Thank you, sir.
We can go and get started.
Yep. We on tonight. Nina couldn't make it tonight. You know, we didn't kick her off, but she got some prior engagements. So tonight is just me, and we got Mr. DJ Diamond K, and we're gonna be chopping it up tonight to see what's going on in the city and get some insight on Mr. Dent and his campaign, what he's got going on, his passion for the city, and we just gonna pick his brain a little bit tonight. So, Mr. Dent, how did you get started in your campaign?
You know, I've been in public service pretty much my entire life. I started out when I was about 8 years old, working on other people's campaigns, championing different issues throughout the city. I grew up right off Tivoli near Maryville. From there, I went on to serve my country as United States Air Force captain. I worked down in D.C. at the Pentagon for President Obama, and immediately following my military service, I came right back to Baltimore with all my newfound knowledge and newfound talents, and I tried to impart it upon my neighbors and my fellow residents. Currently, I run a nonprofit called the D.E.N.T. Group. Mm-hmm. To date, we have trained, certified, and employed over 450 people in Baltimore City. 60% of those are ex-felons.
Nice.
Given what many people go through in Baltimore, that is a underserved population. Our ex-felons, our drug addicted, our homeless, we have to reach out to them, regardless of what side of town you live on, regardless of your socioeconomic status. We have to make sure we pour more resources, more funding, and really more love into those people so they can get back on the right track and be viable members of society. And I took that as my personal challenge about 5 years ago. And my skill set is IT, mainly IT security, IT hacking. So that's what I've been teaching my neighbors and my fellow residents how to do. Get familiar with the computer, get familiar with IT, really pushing that STEM
technology.
Yeah, that STEM framework, that STEM technology. And I've even extended the program not to just adults, to students as well, young people, K through 12. We actually just did a summer program at the Old Lake Clifton Reach Partnership. It was amazing. I used the Respect the Tech framework where we taught anti-bullying, anti-cyberbullying. Because a lot of time I call them email gangsters or social media gangsters. They get real ratchet, excuse my French, on IG or Snapchat or Twitter. But when you face
real
to face
life
with somebody,
it's a rap. Yeah,
you're not that tough.
Yeah.
You're not that tough. So I try to just impart upon our young people that be who you are 100% of the time. Don't try to put on different airs for IG or to impress people on social media, because you're probably going to bump into them the next day.
Yeah, because it happens on World Star all the time.
Absolutely.
So you basically been in politics a minute. Like, this is nothing new to you. This is something you can do in your sleep.
And I wanted to make sure before I started running my own campaign, I knew what it was to be a true public servant. I never wanted to be a politician, but I always wanted to be a public servant. And I had to get some good tutelage, some good mentors, and really get out there and find out what's going on in the community before I could go out there and run my own campaign. Right after I finished working for President Obama, I volunteered to work for Kiefer Mitchell down in the 44th Legislative District as his legislative aide. I was responsible for community engagement, constituent issues, and also writing some of the laws that have been passed throughout the state of Maryland over the last 4 or 5 years. And to be equipped to be able to handle law making abilities, I sent myself to law school up at Widener University in Delaware. I went there. In addition to that, I'm at Morgan right now getting my doctorate degree in education.
All right.
I'm a former college dean as well.
Let me cut you off. So
Oh,
you
go
look
ahead.
young. You look young. So how old are you? You did all this stuff. How old are you?
I tried to maximize all 31 of my years.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I try to maximize all 31 of my years because you see the statistics. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us.
Yeah, it ain't. It ain't.
And I'm in that 18 to 35 range. I got 4 more years before I'm out of the woods, so to speak, according to statistics. You know, I'm a black male from East Baltimore, so I wasn't supposed to make it this far.
Yeah, but it's good you did, and you making things happen for other people. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is once you get into a place of leadership, you need to like make it work for you. So with the foundation that you got going on, it's called the D.E.N.T Foundation.
Yeah, the D.E.N.T group, delivering educational needs together.
Nice. So with all the stuff you got going on, you got a 9 to 5? Like how do you?
I do.
How you cram all that?
You know, I believe it's 24 hours in a day, and I use them all. I'm actually working for the Maryland Department of Transportation. I'm in charge of every MVA, Motor Vehicle Administration branch in the state of Maryland's IT infrastructure, software development, websites, those little yellow kiosks you go to pay your bills on.
It get your driving record.
Absolutely,
Yeah, I know about that. I had to pay $7 like 3 times. Yeah, but
we gotta get, the state has to make sure we make our money.
oh y'all do y'all make it.
Absolutely. But that's my 9 to 5. I love it. I love software development. It allows me to keep my technical skills on par with industry leading technologies. And I take a lot of the things that I continuously learn back to the community, back to Baltimore City. And we actually just did some training with some, third graders? We taught third graders how to make their own websites. It only took us 3 days.
Awesome.
When I say websites able to accept payments via PayPal. I mean, we had to take the kids, set up bank accounts and everything. So you're 8, 9 years old, and you have a website that is fully functioning. That can
Business ready.
Business ready. You know, and they went home and they showed their parents something they could take home.
You gotta
Mama,
help
look
me
what
out.
I can do.
You gotta help me out with that.
Okay.
But
So
so
one of my 8-year-olds to help me.
all right. Okay, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
Look, each one teach one.
If I'm learning shit, I don't care.
Yeah.
But with this the third district city council, for the people that don't know, explain to them what the duties of the third district city council is. What do you do for the people? What kind of service you give to the people, and what you plan on doing once you get in, if you get in.
So look, first I'm gonna give you the boundaries. It's East and Northeast Baltimore. You start on Lock Raven and Argonne Drive, right at Northwood Shopping Center. It extends all the way up north to Good Samaritan Hospital. And then you transition over from there to Harford Road, and it starts at Harford Road and Urban Avenue, all the way up to Harford Road and Taylor Avenue, all the way up to the county line. And then on Bel Air Road, it goes from Bel Air and Urban all the way up to Moravia. So Bel Air and Urban Avenue all the way to Moravia. So that's the district. It's one of the largest districts in the city. The number one thing that I see that the residents of the third district need is revitalization of small businesses, number one, and more programming for our young people, for our children. Because at the end of the day, those children are going to be the future for the Harford Road, for the Bel Air Road, for the Lock Raven communities up and down the district. So we got to pour more into them, because a lot of times, if you ever been on Bel Air Road, the kids are wandering up and down the street,
So
not really engaged in anything.
How you plan on pouring into it, like through school or through like after school programs?
So what my foundation did, we wrote 14 grants for out of school programming, and we partnered with 4 of the schools, K through 8, right now in the district, and we also partnered with another 4 of the high schools, and we're providing out-of-school programming. We got SAT prep for some of our juniors and seniors. For our younger folks, that K through 8 range, we have mentorship programs. We have the STEM programs. We have some gymnastics. We also have healthy living and eating seminars for them as well. We have a location right there off of Bel Air Road and Murray Avenue that they can come to. In addition, we go actually to their respective schools, myself and our team, and provide these services to the young people during that critical 3 to 6 time frame. That's when a lot of kids, the parents are not home yet, or got to pick up the younger siblings, things like that. Also, we got a safe ride program. You know, it's getting dark now. You know, 6, 7 o'clock, it's dark. So, gotta have a safe ride program where I can get you safely home from our program. And then we do the field trips, let them go down and we did a lot of Orioles games this summer, let them meet some of the different players. And we did a lot of partnership with Baltimore City City Police. We actually did a cops and kids game. We had the police officers play baseball with the kids. Northwood Baseball League's 14 and under team. I'm actually the board of trustee of Northwood Baseball League, and I run the league. And we had the kids see, hey, look, you don't have to look at your uniform officers like they're predators. You don't have to look at your uniform officers like they're out to get you. You can actually be nice to them, and they can be nice to you. And we use the national pastime, baseball, to bridge that gap, especially given with all the national coverage that we receive negatively because of police interaction with our young people. We want to make sure we rebuild that relationship. Because I remember Officer Friendly.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I know when I did something wrong, get grabbed by the ear, get taken home, your mother beat you, then you get walked down the street, your grandmother beat you. That, you know, you're not sitting on the curb in the middle of the street. Like a lot of our young people have to do now. And I've spoken to a lot of officers about it, and they told me their perspective on things. And I said, look, y'all got to make sure y'all get out of these cars, get in these neighborhoods, shake these people's hands, and let them know, hey, I'm a real person, you're a real person. We got to have respect for each other, mutual respect for each other. But at the same time, we're all a part of this community. And the officers in the Northeast, I commend them 100%. They are absolutely getting out into these communities. They're walking around, they're walking the beat, they're not sitting in their cars and being standoffish, they're actually getting out there, you know, saying, hey, what's your name? Where do you live? Okay, I'm such and such. I work such and such shift. So when you see me, all you gotta do is wave, say hello.
So,
you know.
So what do you think about that whole scenario with the riots from Stephanie Rawlins-Blake to the police to everything, the citizens destroying their own homes, businesses? What you think about that? Do you think the current city council in that area, you think they did enough to come out to try to support, to try to end it? You know, I mean, just I want a real genuine answer. I don't want a made up answer. I want a genuine answer.
Being in the age range where I know what it feels like to be fouled around in the store because I have on a hoodie. I know what it feels like to have handcuffs on me for no apparent reason. In my own neighborhoods, I feel where our young people felt the need to take things into their own hands. And I also feel where we got to a time where we couldn't take anymore. And given a lot of our young people's socioeconomic status and a lot of their educational statuses, they didn't know how to properly express themselves. They didn't know how to cry out for help other than the negative way that they displayed and portrayed themselves. And what I will say is this: I commend mothers like the mother that dragged her son home.
Yeah.
And when you talk to that young man, why were you out there? Oh, everybody else was out there.
Exactly.
What was you planning on doing? Well, I was going to show people that you can't do us like that. Well, who is us? What are you talking about, son?
They don't even know.
You know, well, I'm mad like everybody. What are you mad about? What happened? Let's talk about it. Let's find out what's going on. As far as our elected officials, the last time we had a riot was 1968. And those individuals that were alive back then said what happened this summer pales in comparison to what they dealt with as far as police dogs and fire hydrants and the things that we only get to see the black and white photos of. Yes, it was tragic what happened to Freddie Gray, and yes, it was tragic to see a majority of our young folks act out in the way they did. But at the same time, I feel where they were coming from. I feel where they were coming from because, like I said, I'm not too far removed. Freddie Gray was, 25, 26?
Yeah.
I just turned 31 2 weeks ago. So we could have been in the same grades, the same classes growing up.
So you think it was wrong place, wrong time, or do you think he provoked something?
You know, I've looked into some of the details of the case. I don't have them all. But from a bird's eye view, I think it's still some more investigation that needs to be done. And I think it needs to be a nice, clear lens of what exactly happened, who's responsible and down the zone. In addition to that, I do like the response right now as far as government, as far as our officers, and as far as our community leaders getting out there and piecing this thing together. Because Freddie Gray was one incident, but we have an entire systemic problem right now where our young people are underserved. Our young people, their rec centers were taken away from them. They didn't have proper programming for years. No PAL centers. A lot of things have been cut that we need. We need,
Like the money they spent on a casino, that could have been, something that they put into the communities.
Now, hindsight 2020, a lot of things could have been done different, but we got to deal with the present and right now. How can we fix it right now so we don't have a reoccurrence of what happened back in April?
I think myself, take responsibility. That's number one. A lot of parents not taking responsibility. A lot of parents aren't seeing things through. I just wish that it was more people, more elected officials taking more responsibility, because everybody, like from the governor, he placed the blame on the mayor. The mayor placed the blame on the chief of police, and it's like a domino effect. Do you agree with her actions in firing the chief of police?
I don't know the inner workings of her administration or what her vision was behind that, so I really can't accurately speak on it because I just don't know all the facts behind it.
I mean, but in that case,
I have worked with former Commissioner Batts. I have worked very closely with Mayor Stephanie Rollins Blake, so I know them personally. But as far as from a purely HR perspective, meaning the hirings and firings of leadership, I really can't speak on it because I'm not in that managerial position, and I don't know all the nuances of what went on behind closed doors.
well, let me ask you: had you been in Stephanie Rollins Blake position, what action would you have taken to after the riot? No, let me ask you this: during the riots and after the riots, everything that played out, what actions would you have taken? Would you went on and fired them? Would you try to just patch everything up? Do community makeup? What would you have done? You think she was extreme by firing that man? Because from what I know, his hands was tied behind his back. They were told to stand down. Now, if he was told to stand down, he was doing his job. So you mean to tell me he get fired for doing his job?
That's the thing. What we hear in the news, some of it may or may not be true. I don't know. Whatever his orders were, and whoever gave him those orders that he saw fit to carry out, not sure who said what, when, and why. Better question is, Marcus Dent, what did you do during the riots?
That's a good question.
Because I can't speak to what others did or didn't do because not them, wasn't there with them. I know when I saw them burning Pastor Dante Hickman's church right off of Gay Street and Chester Street. You know, it hurt me to the core. I got out of my bed, came down Bel Air Road. I met up with some of the other East Baltimore community leaders down there, and we tried to do our best to find out what went on, who did what, and what was going on, in that immediacy. But at the same time, I was right there on Pennsylvania North, trying to figure out, you know, where everything went wrong. You know, I marched on the riots peacefully with some of my fellow community leaders, and I still with community. And you know, in addition to that, I did open up a good dialogue and try to take immediate action within my small framework and my small community and what I had immediate power over. You know, I can't go down and immediately change the law. I can't go down and we will do this and we will do that. I had to look at what I could do as a private citizen, what I could do as an impactful leader that can find out what went wrong and piece together some of those vital pieces and intertwine that fabric to rebuild a community that was brutally shocked and rocked by those events in April.
Mm-hmm. Now, not only the riots, but just the culture of Baltimore, stemming from like the horse riding through the streets, the 12 o'clock boys. You know, it's a different city. Like you can go down to D.C. You will D.C. and Baltimore are completely different places. They separated by what 45 minutes, and you'll never see another place like Baltimore. What do you think on the building the bike arena so they can ride the dirt bikes? What do you think about that?
From my perspective, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I think if we can provide a safe environment to let folks go out and really practice the sport, it's on ESPN. People get paid to do it.
But it's not that same adrenaline rush as riding through the streets.
I know.
So you think they going to the bike riders going to stick to that, or they going to go for it?
We had this conversation last night at a community meeting up on Walter Avenue. We had the same conversation, and the thing was, yeah, you may or may not get the adrenaline rush, but you still got to try. 100% of people may or may not want to do it. But if 40% want to do it, we've made some headway there. We've impacted a few lives. We probably saved a few lives. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know what the exact statistics are of dirt bike crashes in Baltimore City, but I'm quite sure that too many families have been affected by, you know, illegal dirt bike riding in the city. So if we can get, I don't know the exact percentage, half of the folks to take advantage of the dirt bike parks, that's a win in my book as far as community engagement.
I agree. I definitely agree. And with the wage situation in Baltimore, what do you the minimum wage situation? You think that's a possibility they can up the minimum wage?
Okay, so we had a piece of legislation passed that got the minimum wage above $10. Big thanks to, I know, the 45th District legislators that went down there and fought for that past legislative session. It only needs to get higher. We have single parents out there that need to make a living wage for their families, 1 and 2, 3 siblings out there. And we got to make sure that we put more into family. And putting more into family is making sure you can take care of your family, roof over your head, something hot to eat each day. Those vital things that a lot of us take advantage, we take for granted.
Yeah, and
we take for granted.
It's kind of hard because like now, like off a single a single salary, you can't do it by yourself. You need a partner. All right. So for somebody like a 18-year-old kid to get out of school, get out of high school, it's unlikely he gonna be able to have an apartment by himself, do everything by himself, have car insurance by himself, pay rent by himself, and survive. It's almost unlikely now.
And that's the thing. I'll be starting my voter registration tour in October, and we'll start at City Neighbors High School, one of the charter schools up in the district. And the number one thing I'm going to impress upon our sophomore, juniors, and seniors is regardless of what your career aspirations are, you need to get registered to vote. And this is why. Not necessarily so you can vote for any particular person, even though you should, but there's funding out there, government funding that is out there for those registered voters to take advantage of so they can get scholarships to pursue either college, community college, barber school, cosmetology school, a trade. That money is available for you for those registered voters. Register to vote. I encourage you to vote and go out there and have your voice heard. But in addition to that, fill out those scholarship applications.
They don't know how they gonna do it. You know.
I have the websites. I can send it to them. I'll be going around socializing this opportunity to say, hey, it takes 10 minutes, fill out your application. You get a voter registration card in the mail. You only have to be 16 to register to vote. You can't vote at 16, but you can register at 16. Then you can start applying for your scholarships. I know the state delegation and the city delegation throughout Baltimore City, each of them have scholarship funds every year that they have to give out, and they do give them out. I applaud them for giving them out.
So what
but
happens
more people
to
can
them?
take advantage of
What
it.
happens to them if they're not giving out?
No, they give them out every year, but a lot of people don't know about it.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I just got a couple more like premier
Oh,
questions.
go ahead.
All right. So how much is needed for a campaign? Like how much money you need for your campaign? Do you have to ask for a lot of backing, or I mean?
Absolutely. We're running a grassroots campaign. Not a lot of big business backing, none at all. Mostly family, friends, people that believe in you, people that see there needs to be a change, and people that think that you are the person that can actually go out and be active, be accountable, be accessible to the community. Those are the folks that are willing to commit to you financially. And when we say financially, not $1 million, not $2 million, $10, $20, $50, $100. You know, don't break the bank trying to get one individual in office, but definitely show your support, either financially or volunteering your time. Because at the end of the day, you are making sure that person works for you down at City Hall, and you're reminding that person, you work for me. I sent you down there to represent us. And the minute that you don't do that, you won't be in the office anymore. And my vote will dictate that. As far as the actual dollar figure for funding a campaign, for city council, you're looking at between $80,000 and $90,000 that you have to raise.
Within a year?
Yeah. You have a lot of things that you have to purchase. You have a lot of programming and initiatives that you have to get out there, and all that takes funding, and you got to raise that money. You have to do campaign fundraising phone calls. You have to set up websites to accept online donations. My website is marcusdent.com, MARQUES/DENT.com, and we do accept online donations. And they can be in any amount. You know, we like people to start at least $3 for the 3rd district, but you can go up to $2,600 as an individual to donate to a particular campaign of your choice. So if you see someone that is out there fighting hard for the community, be willing to support them, to help them further the cause that all of us need to see come to fruition.
Yeah, because it's a major lack of support in Baltimore, and it's just something that I'm not even gonna say Baltimore. I'm gonna say black people in general, because if you look like with Mexicans, when they come over here, man, it'll be 10 of them in one house, and they working towards a common goal of everybody making it.
Supporting each other.
Exactly.
Supporting each other.
Everybody making it. We not just in it for self.
Mm-hmm.
They putting money into the household so everybody can go to work. You know, it ain't none of that. Well, you ain't got no bus fare, so you ain't going to work. You know, everybody going to work that day. Everybody putting that money back in the house. Everybody going to make do.
And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with supporting the local small businesses. You know, we got to do that. We got to do that. Those mom and pop stores, those folks that are out there doing landscaping, those folks that are out there doing construction work, serving those vital needs that we need as citizens. We got to support those folks locally, Baltimore residents, those folks that live and work in the same place.
Yeah.
Those folks, they need our support.
Yeah.
They need our support. We as leaders, really we as neighbors, have to go out and support our fellow neighbor. Why go all the way across town or run all the way down to D.C. or go up to Pennsylvania, X, Y, and Z, you know, for a can of paint?
Because we afraid somebody gonna get ahead of us. That's what it is.
No, hold up. See, I was gonna try to be quiet before we went to the break, but
Jump in there. Jump in there.
y'all, okay. All right, so are we talking about Baltimore or are we talking about somewhere else?
We talking about Baltimore.
That's what I thought. All right, so I hear what y'all saying, and it sounds very idealistic, very nice. And y'all was talking about officer friendly, I think, and really nice fantasy things. But let's go to the reality. And where people want to support these businesses, just because you're a business in the hood doesn't mean that you just get support if your customer service is not good and your product selection is not good and the upkeep of the store is not good, and all of these things have to come into play. So what are y'all saying that the citizens need to do this, but what about the businesses? The customer service now is crap, not just in small business, but just across the board.
Mm-hmm. Let me jump in there real quick. It's called community partnership. We actually just had a meeting today with the North Hartford business community. They try to make it as family friendly as possible. They come out into the neighborhoods. They provide school supplies during the back to school time frames and things like that. They pour back into the communities that they want to support them. The same way with those Bel Air Road businesses as well. Also with a lot of our local barbershops and salons. I can't tell you how many summer events I went to just in the back parking lots of those particular establishments that were, number one, geared towards community. Hey, we're having a book drive. Come out and get a free book for you and your child. Also a free hot dog and a bag of chips. You know, those type of things. Say, hey, we want you to patronize our store. We want you to patronize our establishment. But that's not without responsibility on us as business owners, as community members, because if our business is in your community, you basically run our business. We only get to stay if you support us. So we have to pour more back into those. It's a two-way street. We have to pour more back into each other. So that was a great point.
But he's got to go against the grain because that's just what he does. Mm-hmm. But to me, I haven't run into too many bad mom and pop stores where
I haven't either.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's in his area or wherever he at.
I know a lot of the places I go to, first name basis. I'm in there all the time.
So y'all just got three stores y'all go to, huh?
No, I mean wherever's comfortable, whatever's beneficial.
Let me make sure I understand this. You said you haven't gone into a business with bad customer service?
Currently, I haven't. Like right.
So you don't go out to stores that much?
I do. I go out a lot. I'm in the streets all the time. I'm in the.
Okay.
I'm outside every day. Matter of fact,
I believe you are. I'm talking about the gentleman in the blue hat.
Because I can run.
Name two businesses, Eddie West, that you've been to with good customer service.
Two businesses.
I didn't even say great. I said good.
Two businesses. Two mom and pop businesses. All right, I got one.
Just two businesses.
Right.
It ain't got to be mom and pop, because I don't even think you can name two mom and pop
all right,
businesses.
Executive Cuts on Ricestown Road. That's a black home. That's
So there's good service in there.
All right,
Okay,
good.
so this is
Great-
Wait,
it's
is
great
this in,
service.
Is this in the mall?
no, it's right. It's a barber shop. It's right on-
Ricestown and what? I mean, they got barber shop in the
Ricestown
mall.
and below Haywood, below the
But
police.
Park Heights.
Yeah, around
Okay.
there. So and then
Okay.
the my
Now no more barber shops.
Yeah, no
Okay,
barber shops,
all right.
but the auto traditional excellence detailing shop.
Okay.
Excellent.
I believe
service.
that. I believe
excellent
that.
service. I mean,
Okay,
they-
you got me.
and then you can
You got
can
me.
go in, watch TV.
Okay, you
know,
got me.
You can chop it up with with the
Okay.
guys.
So
on-
now name two that's not personal friends of yours.
that's not personal.
Because those are two personal
Oh,
friends.
you named the homeboys.
Yeah, he did. He named
No, it's not.
homeboy.
It's not the homeboys. I mean, it's giving back.
You know
what
you
I'm
messed
saying?
up, don't you?
It's giving back.
You know you messed up.
Now, can you name two that's not homeboys?
My thing is that's what I was saying. I say the customer service is bad, and the customer service is bad across the board. And it's not a mom and pop business thing. It's a personal pride
See,
thing.
you got to ask him. Do he even support?
No, I'm talking about this is across the board. So I'm talking about big stores, little stores. It's not about the store. It's about the people that work in the store. If you go to McDonald's, if you go to Walmart, these are of course big stores, but I'm saying the people that work in there are of our community. So it's about the personal pride of the people.
Well, it's personal
Well,
pride.
well-
and it's comfort. Like
yeah, that's, and it's comfort and familiarity.
Yeah.
I know at the McDonald's in Northwood Shopping Center, I go up there frequently. Mr. McPherson's always up there. He's the regional manager of the East Baltimore's McDonald's. He's a regional manager of the one also on Harford Road in Moravia. And every time I go into either one of those McDonald's, I take my campaign team in there. We normally try to have, grab breakfast in the morning before we go out meeting and greeting with neighbors. We get excellent service. Hey, Mr. Dent, hey, team, how y'all doing? Da-da-da. Y'all getting y'all usual? Sure. In addition to that, you got your mom and pop stores as well. We got Lost in the 50s diner, 5512 Harford Road. Tim, he's the cook, does an excellent steak and eggs. Only place I know you can get a steak and eggs for $8, a 10-ounce steak. Right down Harford Road in Hamilton, 5512. And
You born and raised East Baltimore?
born and raised East Side,
I can feel it.
right
I
off
can feel it.
Tivoli.
He has a lot of East Side pride. That's what's up.
Ain't no
That's
wrong
my
with
that's
that.
but that's the
That's
thing.
what's up.
That's my district. I live, I work, I serve all in the same place.
What high school did you
that
go
is
to?
responsible for me being able to be where I'm today.
What high school did you go to?
Actually, I went to St. Paul School for Boys in Brooklynville, Maryland. I went there from 1st through 12th grade.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, but he's still giving back to the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's staying to his roots.
Yeah.
He's like Carmelo, somewhat. Carmelo had to go out to get the education. But he giving back to
And
us,
the girl.
and the girl. All right. So let me ask you this. Speaking of girls, so who does Miss? Is there a Miss Dent?
No, there's not.
So you single?
No.
I'm not. I'm unmarried.
You unmarried? So you unattached? Like, I'm gonna
He's
make this. I'm gonna make it
unmarried.
hard for you. What
He said
you?
he's
So
unmarried.
what you got going on?
Let's get back to this customer service.
Hold up with that. So what you got
for a commercial?
What you got? Yeah. So what you got going on, Mr. Dent? Is it a woman that you do a Netflix and chill with?
Keep them.
Nah,
keep-
I don't.
Oh, my
I don't do the
goodness.
Netflix and
I
chill.
just wait a minute. We need to take a break. 'Cause I just realized something. Nina told you she has something to do, right?
Yeah.
She has to watch Empire. That's what she had to do.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh,
I just
my
realized.
goodness.
Are you serious? Is it
Yeah.
9:00 yet?
Nah, it's not 9 o'clock yet, but I just realized that's what she had to do.
Wow, Nina. He throwing
Yeah.
you under the bus.
That's
Your boy.
It's
Your boy.
true. Let's do this. Let's take a break and let's come back. And then you still need to come up with some other businesses that have good service.
All right.
It's not your friends.
You gotta come up with one. One.
I don't know one. No, I
I'm-
got a couple. No, I got some. I got
All
some.
right.
All right.
We be back.